most important subject, or should I say, it is the heart and soul of the entire commerce syllabus. So that's why today I'm making this lesson which will provide you all detailed, complete insights about the account syllabus and will definitely increase your chances of getting a very high score. So before we begin, this lesson is presented by me, Vibhu Gaur, and this is our YouTube channel, My Free School. So, first of all, the very first thing is how to begin, how to start off. This is the most important thing, common thing which everyone faces when they start preparing for anything. Okay, so the first point is understanding the syllabus and then getting hold of the trend, planning and strategizing, and execution. I will be talking about all these points in detail with you in the coming slides. So, first of all, understanding the syllabus. See, this is something which I have prepared with my own experience, own observation, and the observing the previous year trends. I have divided all the chapters, all the topics of the entire course into different sections and have given them ratings accordingly. Okay, the first being the level of difficulty, complexity in exam, theory, and weightage. Okay, so the very first topic, let's come on to the first topic, that is fundamentals. In difficulty, I have given it 3 stars. In complexity in exam, I have given it 5 stars. In theory, again 3 stars. And in weightage, 3 stars. The main reason behind this being, I have seen it many times that the questions asked from fundamentals are a bit tricky. Though the chapter in itself, it is not that much difficult. There are some basic concepts in this chapter, but the questions which are asked from this topic are pretty much complicated according to me. But the weightage is against 3 star. It is not that it is asked for around 16 marks. No, it's basically around like 8, 7, 6 marks, and that's it. It's difficult. Weightage is not that high. Okay, then coming on to the reconstitution and dissolution. It contains admission, change in profit sharing ratio, okay, retirement, death. In this level of difficulties, again 3 star. Now this is something I am highlighting this chapter. I will be dealing about the reason in the subsequent slides. Level of difficulty 3 star, and now compare it with the weightage 5 star weightage. That's actually very high weightage. That someone is giving 5 star weightage to a chapter whose difficulty is only 3 star. Extremely easy questions, and this complexity in exam 2 star. Like, this is a complete opportunity for all of you who are willing to score 90 above. Okay, 2 star difficulty. Almost basic standard questions are asked from this chapter. 1 to important adjustment, that's it, and those can be even predicted. Okay, very less this complexity in exam. Theoretical aspect of this chapter is also, these chapters are also very less, and then weightage is 5 star. So this is really a highlighted chapter for me. Coming on to the share capital. Now this is a bit difficult chapter. I can say it includes many points. Some of its topics like pro rata, when premium and discounts are also in it becomes a bit complicated. But then again, its complexity is not too high and not too low. Somewhere in between, so I have given it 3 star. Theoretical aspect is also 3 parts, because major portion of theory from companies will be asked from share capital only, because they don't have any other chapter. Okay, and then weightage, again this is 5 star. Weightage is definitely, you will get a complete question on this, so weightage is definitely a 5 star. Then debentures, level of difficulty 3 star, and complexity is 4 star. Now this is something like, you can compare this chapter with fundamentals. Okay, similar kind of chapters. In partnership they have fundamentals, and in companies they have debentures. They usually ask tricky questions, because when I was preparing last year, they asked a question including a TDS point. So then everyone fears that now at this time what they will ask, they will become more trickier. Even in the last to last attempt, when I gave my papers, they asked an account to prepare a debentures account. So though it was not so complicated, but it is not a usual question. They are usually board plays tricks in this chapter. Okay, theoretical aspect is not so high, but the weightage is again 3 star. So it is also similar to fundamentals. Part C, financial statement. This is our next book. Okay. And this analysis of financial statements and tools, very easy. They are least difficult chapters. Nothing is there. Complexity is also very basic. They will ask simple theoretical portion. The only thing students do not score in this portion is because they avoid this. They ignore this. No one actually gives appropriate time to this subject, to these topics. Theoretical aspect is its main part, 5 star, and weightage is also 2 star. Not okay like 2, 3, 4 marks. Ratios, level of difficulty 2. Complexity, yes, a bit tricky questions sometimes, but not usually. Usually it is very simple questions. Okay. Theory 2 star, and then weightage is again 3 star. In its theory portion, I would like to mention that usually what happens is one thing happens when you find out a ratio, they ask you to give an opinion. So this is the only question which they ask from ratios. And in T.S. Grewal, there is a summarized statement of all the ratios and their meaning at the end of the chapter. So reading it from there it's enough. It's enough according to me. That is it to cover its theory. Cash flow statement, again, level of difficulty 3, complexity 2, theory 2, and weightage 3. It is one of my favorite chapters, cash flow statement, and I will try to make a separate video on cash flow statement, and we'll discuss some special tips and tricks to actually solve this question with 100% accuracy. That's my personal guarantee. Okay. Now, this is the complete understanding of the syllabus, and this is the most important point before we start to prepare anything. So I hope this helps you a lot. Now, coming on to the planning part, burning the rope from both the sides. Now, what does this mean? Burning the rope from both the sides. It means your teacher starts preparing from this chapter. Okay, and what you can do is you just start prepare. You can just start your own studies from backwards, and there will be a point in between when you both will coincide. Okay, so that is something which I used to do, not with the very difficult chapters, but yes, if teacher is teaching us something like some important chapters like admission, retirement, death in the school, then what I can do is I can pick up some theory chapters from part B and I can start preparing backwards. So till the teacher will reach at this point, I will already cover up my syllabus from backwards. And the best time to do this practice is right now in your holidays, when you have a long vacation time. These chapters, they do not require too much of understanding of anyone. Okay, you can easily comprehend them on your own. So this is something which I personally prefer to do. Making a hit list. What is this hit list? I will be talking about it in the next slide, and then getting the bookshelf ready, the most interesting part for me. Okay, so moving forward, hit list, the low yield and the high yield. From the understanding of the syllabus, while I was talking about the syllabus, I have already told you what is low yield and what is high yield. Reconstitution dissolution, I told you I have marked this because of a special reason. The star chapter, these are the star chapters for me. Like, do every question from certain books I will refer to you, and I can assure you 100% you will score full on these chapters. So damn easy questions are asked from this chapter. Share capital, though it is a bit difficult, but again we have to work according to the weightage and ratios and cash flows. In part C, they are the only chapters from which questions are asked. Okay, low yield is debentures and analysis of financial statement. Fundamental, I won't consider it to be low yield because it is comparatively, it creates a base for reconstitution chapters, resolution, admission, etc. But debentures, I prefer it to be a bit low yield chapter as per the so many complexities in the exam, and then you cannot devote your time just fearing at what will be asked, and you will start doing all sort of nonsense questions, and you will ignore chapters like this for just this. So first of all, you should cover up your high yield material and then come on to the low yield. Okay, now getting the book list ready. I have divided it into this stage because what happens, what a student does, he brings lots of books and then start preparing. What happens in the starting days, you pick up a chapter, you are in a full mood. What you will do, you will complete that chapter from all the 5 books. No, you don't have to do it. Okay, if you start a chapter, what you need to do it, complete T.S. Grewal first, and then there is a book called Vivasan. You can complete questions from that book. Till you are not done with this and till your syllabus is not complete, you cannot jump to stage 2. You have to cover each and every chapter from these two things, and then you have to complete entire syllabus. Okay, and then you need to come to stage 2. I can see that this can be done around till December. Usually till December every school completes their syllabus and you can cover up these two books in your winter vacations. Then what you need to do is you can come to stage 2, that is T.S. Grewal self-tutor. This is a book whose updated version usually comes around January, and it will take you around 20 days or 30 days to complete this book. Okay, and this I find this book very very good book because this actually deals with proper updated trend of the paper. So this is something which should be referred. Okay, and then the final stage is the CBSE sample papers and previous year question papers. They are the final stage just before your exam in February. You can just go through these papers and you can just solve 3 to 4 papers on your own. Okay, so now tips and tricks. These are some basic things which you should know. Create notes of important points. That's something very common. Every one of you know that you have to create this. Use proper labels. Your teachers will be shouting like anything that do. Write the ledger account name, journal, etc. So these are some basic points. Make a concept register. This is, I can tell you about this. What you can do about a concept register is that this is some. What I can do is, this is your register in which you are practicing a question, and this is your concept register, a very zero size figure register. Okay, just a simple it's a slight register. What you can do is you're practicing questions here. You're doing question 1, 2, 3. What you see that in this question, doing the second question, you find some important adjustment in it. For example, in admission, you find a very important adjustment relating to the bandits. What you can do is just note down the question number here and note down that adjustment here. Just note down that adjustment here. Now what will happen when you will revise? You can do it, you can just see that this was the question. I had a difficulty in this question. What was the difficulty? Just open up your concept register, go to that question, check the difficulty. The difficulty is destroyed. D. That's simple. Difficulty destroyed. Then revision sheet. Revision sheet is something very common. I am saying that you have to revise it. What you can do is just make a simple paper. I used to do it. Then make a chapter list over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters. Okay, all the chapters, and then make columns. Okay, what you need to do is you need to revise a chapter at least 3 times. At least 3 times. Even you can go for 5 times, but that is for theory subjects basically. But for syllabus accounts, you can go for a 3-time revision. A chapter you revise the first time, you can just put a tick over here. Second time, put a tick over here. Third time, put a tick over here, and that chapter is complete. Okay, and then summary. Summary is something like if you prepare a chapter, what you can do is there will be a sheet. Just pick up a A4 size sheet. What you can do is in the first page of that sheet, just write down this is the chapter name. Okay, these are 2 concepts in it, 3 concepts in it. The third concept contains these 2 concepts. Okay, and then this first concept contains question number 1, 5, 7. This concept contains question number 1. And then similarly, this concept contains these questions, and this concept contains these and these questions. So this is like a complete overview of every chapter which you can prepare. Okay, while you are solving any of your book. At the end of the chapter, you should make a summary. And then at the end, I would just like to say that stop worrying and start studying. Usually students worry about the pressure of boards and all. Stop worrying about this. Boards are in March, not tomorrow. Right now your main focus should be to study. Ignore all random myths that there is or the teachers cut marks, you cannot score 100 on 100, they will cut your marks. See, all this happens just if you are not completely prepared. There is no other reason. Have faith and confidence in yourself. Stick to your strategy. Don't change your strategy at all by listening to anyone. Okay, if someone says this is a better book, entire syllabus comes from this paper comes from this book, don't just stop studying from the book you are preparing and then jumping to that book which is referred by someone else. Don't do this stuff. Avoid unnecessary distractions. Like people will be shouting इस बार ये change हो गया, इस बार ये change हो गया, इस बार इस तरह के questions आएंगे, इस बार वो आएंगे. Keep yourself updated with a reliable source. Consult your teachers, but do not consult any random person shouting on the street about any random stuff. So guys,